Hello subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome back to Let's Play Stellaris. So sorry it has been quite a while since the last part for this series. As a result of this pandemic that we've been needing to deal with, it's interrupted my ability to record. And when I did have the time to go and record, I ended up needing to make a choice of what do I record. So between this Stellaris and my Star Trek Online series, this is Stellaris, between this, my Victoria 2 series, and my Star Trek Online series, I was making the choice to go for Victoria because that series was near its end, so I wanted to go ahead and just finish that off. Now that that series, however, is over, I've recorded the last part, and the video 4 will be going up the day after I'm actually recording this video. We'll be recording Stellaris for the time being, whenever I have the time to go ahead and actually record. Yeah, that's a little bit funky. At least the model kind of loads until you zoom in. Although that does get fixed once we manage to upgrade our habitats, but that's gonna be a little while. So this part is probably mostly going to be focused on just me kind of getting a lay of what the hell we were doing previously, so probably a lot of just surveying and building up outposts and whatnot. I don't know when the next time we'll go to war is, because we're kind of overpower all of the major non-Fallen Empire factions, so yeah, it kind of makes it hard to go to war because I can't really declare anybody a rival, so it kind of hampers my ability to gain influence. Because I can't get influence particularly quickly, it's kind of hard for me to create claims on anybody's territory. So we may not be going to war for a little while, potentially. Our expansion will potentially be just building up outposts and whatnot, and just kind of making our way out to be able to go and declare a total war, hopefully in the near future. Let me go ahead and get my timer started though. So let's see, we have an automated dreadnought that I would like to go and get rid of. I would also like to take care of the marauders up here, but that's gonna be a while.
System survey complete.
You know, I don't know why the game actually feels like it's lagging quite a bit more than it did in the past. Triplet dwarves. I don't know. Well, one, you're pointing me in the wrong direction, game. Here we go. This is the right system. I didn't read the thing. Oh well. Interesting world. Lots of barren and frozen worlds. An F-class star and a couple of brown dwarves. Also, I feel like the rotation or revolution for particularly the first and second brown dwarf is a little, actually all of them really. The way they revolve around their sun, and particularly the worlds revolve around the brown dwarves, is just kind of asking for a planet to eventually collide with another planet, realistically. Yeah, that's just asking for problems there. The fact that nothing has happened is actually somewhat surprising. Okay, we're about to get X-ray lasers, and we are building, I don't even know what.
The spirits have granted us new
Our strike
wisdom.
cruisers, okay. Let's go ahead and get disruptors, sure. Okay, let's go ahead and upgrade our ships with our nice new fancy X-ray lasers. Now that I think about it, yeah, we're gonna swap out your railguns for plasma throwers. No. Reverse that. Swap out your X-ray laser, rather, for a plasma thrower. Now the reason I'm not using autocomplete design to go ahead and actually apply the upgraded laser is simply because it doesn't remember some of the settings over here on the side, and I'd rather not have to reset those every time, so I'm gonna try and avoid using autocomplete design for anything I've already designed. Let's go ahead and get these upgraded. What do we have in here? We have Pan-Galactic Recycling Initiative and Minor Research Sanctions. Neither of those do I particularly care to deal with.
Our
We
ships
have a
have been
spare
improved.
worker, but we are building a research initiative, so I can just kind of ignore that. Build another civilian industry here, and I am actually going to replace all of these with habitation modules, because you guys don't need that stuff. That is the purpose of the colony worlds, is to get you the raw materials. Some of these things I still need to sort of move around, though. Oh, you don't actually have any jobs available. Build you 2 generator districts, so I already have 1 there. That gives you a total of 4 jobs, so I shall send you 3 more to get you the right number of people. That is correct, right? No, I was 1 short because I wasn't actually counting. Go. You have plenty of housing space. And you guys are all going to get cleared out as well because you're not needed there anymore either. Same with you. Replace all your stuff with habitation districts. Why can I not replace you with the habitation district? I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait for that one. That's fine. Not a particularly big deal. Just a minor nuisance. We're about to get escort carriers.
Complete.
And again, I swear, it feels like the game's lagging more than it used to. Am I just sending you there to... No, yeah, I'm just moving you there. I want you to actually build. Same with you. Okay, you're building there. Wonderful. I will give you minerals because I have the shit ton and nothing to spend them on, really. And UI is broken again, isn't it? Yes, it is. This is a complaint that I have with Paradox's new launcher, is sometimes mods load properly and other times they don't load properly, and I really don't have any way of controlling that. So this time the UI is broken, kind of, sort of. These should all be much smaller boxes. But at least it's giving us all the right number of boxes. So it's not that big of a deal. But technically they're supposed to be smaller than that, because there's not supposed to be a scroll wheel. But I can live with the scroll wheel, and I kind of actually prefer the bigger boxes. But still, technically they shouldn't be there. Also, I know I was building you up to serve as a defensive against the marauders, but that's not really necessary so much anymore.
Construction complete.
Mostly because I can just pay them off
Construction
anytime they
complete.
threaten to attack me. Because I kind of sort of have resources that I just don't have the ability to spend. At least not nearly fast enough. Now, I would love to replace all these research districts with habitation districts as well, but that's kind of going to have to wait. Because I would need to replace them with something. And at least in this case, I can't replace them with anything.
Construction complete.
Okay, you're doing fine. You know what? I will build you a pillar of affliction. I don't need the extra food that gives me, but it doesn't hurt to have either. So why not? And yep, here comes our issue with influence. That will continue to be an issue going forward.
Construction complete.
But hopefully eventually we'll be able to deal with it. You guys are, yeah, here are the materialist ones, I thought so.
System survey complete.
I want you to go ahead and check out that site.
Construction complete.
Anything else I can get a scientist from you. For 1,000. That's honestly dirt cheap, so sure, I'll take your scientist. They're just general curators, right? Yep. Okay, what do I want to put him in? Well, I think I'm going to put him in the thing for escort carriers. Try and get those just a little bit faster. And you know what? That also gives me another spare scientist. So let's build another science ship and ship this guy out to go and do some science stuff. Because there's really no reason not for him to do anything.
Wisdom.
There we go, got the disruptors. Let's go for... We're going to go for the ultra energetic particle colliders because I like that plus 5% research speed, and the extra 5,000 max minerals doesn't hurt either. You know, because we're kind of always sitting fairly close to our cap for minerals. It would be kind of good if I didn't have to sit so close to it. Now we're going to have a bunch of people who are unemployed sitting on these stations. What we're going to do is we're going to ship many of them off-world to other places. So particularly our primary species, any of those that are unemployed, will likely be shipped out to areas that need more specialists. Let's see, so you need 2 pops. There we go, you upgraded that. You need 80 for that. Yeah, that ain't happening right now. You need 40 for that. That's a little bit more feasible. You need 40 for that, and you need 80. Yeah. Also, need to double check that you guys are in fact building the right pops, because of course you're not. You are never building the right pops. Because for whatever reason, the game's always resetting that. I don't know why, it just does. And it's honestly very annoying that it resets that every single time a pop is grown, and I potentially even when I load the game, I don't know for certain.
Construction complete.
For that last one, but I know definitely whenever a pop is grown, the game decides, okay, now we're gonna shift it to some other random species because technically my species is not allowed to grow there, or at least they shouldn't be. Yeah, give him the increased benefits. It really doesn't matter. Wonderful, you got that. Oh yes, I forgot. I was building a science ship, and the game stuttered there, so I got accidentally clicked on there when I didn't want to. How about you go and excavate that site? Since you're not doing anything useful, go and build me my mining thing there. Okay. 3 more months for a better embassy, and 11 more months for our strike carriers.
System survey complete.
And here we go again. UI breaking. This is fine. Extra food processing, sure. So this will make habitats cost less influence and cost less alloys. Will also allow me to extend, I guess this, I don't know exactly how expanding of Lebensraum works as a ascension perk here. Especially since we now have 3 tiers of habitats. So I think we're going to hold off on that one, at least until we've upgraded our habitats the old-fashioned way, or I guess the new way. You know what? I think I'm going to go for mind over matter. Sure. We're going to be psionics. So since the dawn of our civilization, tales have flourished of mighty sorcerers wielding powers that can only be described as supernatural in nature. These rare enfulons could supposedly invade the minds of their fellows, lift heavy objects with merely a thought, or perform any number of other magical feats. Until recently, these stories were just that, stories. Now, however, our scientists have finally obtained conclusive evidence that proves the psionic potential inherent in certain enfulon individuals. Although only a very small minority of our species as a whole seems to be gifted with psionic powers, their numbers relative to the total population have grown steadily over just the last few centuries. Whether this is due to some kind of sudden evolutionary growth spurt, or because something has triggered latent psionic abilities that were always present in our genetic code, scientists cannot say. So, modify our pops by adding the latent psionic trait, and we're now able to build Psi-Corps as a building and recruit psionic armies. Wonderful. Of course, that only modifies our primary species, even though it says modifies pops within Enfulon's sacred mandate. It's only primary species, which honestly that would be a much more useful tooltip if it said primary species or something to that effect. Rather than implying that it should go to everybody, because it doesn't go to everybody. Give them the increased benefits. What is this one? Okay, that's the one up here. Records aboard the station reveal that the former inhabitants were deeply religious and had no contact with the outside world, which they feared and despised. Every aspect of their lives was governed by an omniscient oracle who scribed their duties at birth. Divine will decided everything from their choice of partner and occupation to the minutiae of their daily lives, leaving them with little free individual freedom. Most were afraid to diverge from their destined paths, as all who did perished under mysterious circumstances. Curious. Oh, can we do our thing right now? No, we can't. Not yet. Okay. No reverse engineering just yet. And here comes our better embassy complex for whatever good that's going to do us. No, let's upgrade that research complex. Yes, stay away from there.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Wonderful. Let's learn how to get rid of more tile blockers, because those are going to be annoying issues for us. Wonderful. Now can I? Yes, I can. Just for whatever reason, the game was refusing to let me replace you while the stuff was still building, because reasons, I guess. You know, let's build that too. Sure. I could stand to get a little bit more Empire sprawl. And yeah, rare crystal is not something that we have a real shortage of. Oh yes. Reminds me, I need to go now through all of my pops. And, or all my planets rather, and reselect my primary species because that modification completely removed them from the selection for priority growth. Also, kind of want to just go ahead and apply this template to everybody, but we don't currently know how to do gene modding, so that's going to have to wait a bit. You need 50 to build that. Let's see, so I can build psi cores wherever I want. Limited to one per planet, but every planet can have them, which is useful, but... Let's see, all must be true. Number of available mining districts is equal to 0. Number of available generated districts equal to 0. Number available... That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's why. Because this is a all must be true, one must be true, and then that one must be true applies to two different all must be trues. This is... Sometimes Paradox's tooltips aren't that easy to decipher. So yes, we can build this. Our issue is we lack a planetary capital on this planet. Thus we can't build it. But as soon as we have the ability to build a planetary capital, we will have no problems. Precursor remains. Interesting. So let's go ahead and replace the research lab here on Kiernat with a psi core. And 5 more months for escort carriers, though we won't be able to build one because this research doesn't actually give us any increase in our naval capacity. Or not naval capacity, but fleet capacity. And that actually took us over. I should have bought alloys first. Oh well. Too late now. Can't do anything about it. How's your research going? You have a 10% chance of breakthrough, so it's going okay. You're at a 40%. That reminds me, I can build exploration cruisers. I should probably build an exploration cruiser, because our current one gives us a little bit extra of all 3 researches right now. Yeah, let's go and do that. Let's build an exploration cruiser, because why not? Technically, I can build 3. Don't want to build 3? Yeah, screw it, why not? We'll build 3. And technically they can fight. They're not doing a great job at it, but they can technically do it. Also, build more shipyards there. Build you a advanced assembly yard. I would like a stasis chamber. Yeah, sure, you can get a financial space center as well. Administrative computer sounds nice, as well as orbital agency. Yeah, both of those do sound pretty nice, so I'm gonna give you both. So administration computers and orbital agency. Granted, these are all going to take a while, so I'm going to kick the Administration, Computers, and Orbital Agency up to the top.
Construction complete.
Where is this one? Oh, you, okay. Go there. I need more exotic gas, and I don't have any planets that are actually producing any right now. There's our escort carrier. It's 33 months for that. But it's useful. And I think that's what I need to be able to get the next tier of our habitats. So now we can build escort carriers, which are fun things to build. And if I give it an invasion core, oh, I can't do it right now. But with an invasion core, there is a tech that we'll research eventually that will allow us to be able to just not need actual armies. Our carriers will be able to carry basically an infinite contingent of troops, and these troops can just be dropped down onto the planet once the devastation gets down to like 30, or not down, but once it gets up to 30% rather. It'll just drop down whatever unit we have there. So obviously we'll be putting psionic army drop pods on there. Now you are a carrier, so I'd rather you not be anywhere near the front lines, but I can't tell you to be too far back because otherwise these guys actually won't engage. I've had that happen in the past. So I would love to use standoff. It actually seems like it'd be useful, but it has potential for some issues. So I'm just going to set you for 120. That should be far enough back to avoid any serious issues. Should generally keep you out of the line of fire.
Construction complete.
Now, whether or not we'll actually build any escort carriers is a different story altogether. Which one is this? That's this place up here. The archaeological team has made an unexpected discovery. Embedded within the station walls is a hidden surveillance system that seems to have been feeding visual and auditory information to a single point somewhere within the station's core. Someone was monitoring the disciplines at all, or the disciples. Yeah, at all times, even in their most private moments. In some places, the equipment has been torn out or sabotaged. Closer to the central hub are signs of violence and disruption. It seems as though at some point the inhabitants discovered they were being monitored. Curious. We continue to wait for our nice, fancy exploration cruisers to get pumped out, but they take quite a while. They're about a year to build, so we have to play a waiting game for those.
System survey complete.
Wonderful. Reverse engineer, and that gives us administrative efficiency, which I think is a plus to admin capacity. I think. Don't quote me on that. We'll find out soon enough. That was fast. We have traced the wiring to a temple complex devoted to the worship of the Oracle and her clergy in the station's central node. But in the Oracle's chambers, instead of a divine entity, resides an enormous AI nexus of the Oracle brand. Wires extend from its core like a nervous system through the entire station. Secret communications between the inhabitants reveal there was a failed attempt at storming the temple and deactivating the nexus. It seems likely the society collapsed when it becomes known that their lives, or when it became known that their lives were not governed by divine will, but by a prophetic computer. Restarting the nexus will require extensive repairs. Curious. Is that the only thing we can say? Is curious? Because it seems like that's the only thing we can say. Every time, it's always curious. Let's get rid of any... Okay, I can't actually get rid of any more, apparently. Yes, game, I know. There's a bunch of unemployed people and they're upset, I know. So we're gonna ship them all to Zempek. Okay, well, not all of them, because we can't actually ship all of them, but enough to
Construction
get stability a
complete.
little bit higher, at least. The Who's? Not my species, apparently. While it is rare for psionic powers to manifest after adolescence, it is not unheard of. Matriarch Atel Elar has recently begun displaying abilities that were suspected to be psionic in nature. After undergoing a thorough ESP test, she has been identified as a Class 4 psionic talent. Good. Now, who is this person that we were talking about? Oh, the matriarch. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so the matriarch is now a psionic. That's nice. Let's see if we can spread this out to anybody else. But that is a plus 10% to governing ethics attraction and a 0.5 monthly influence, which is nice. Reminds me. Oh, we did not finish building the thing yet. No, we haven't. That is taking forever and a half, apparently. The expedition team has found a safe spot to set up camp. Additional equipment and personnel are being dropped off to the makeshift camp from small drop ships, and the expedition is now getting ready to search the nearby precursor ruins. Excellent. Okay. For some reason I thought maybe I didn't actually press the start button on my timer because it kind of felt like more than half an hour has gone by, but no, it's about to go off in just a little bit. We failed to pass the Guardian Angels Act. Okay, I was just kind of test playing this a while back. That, I believe, passed in my test run. There's my timer going off. Yeah, I kind of need organic slavery to fail. And it looks like a lot of people aren't particularly in favor of it, or at least anybody who has any real power. Or it could also just be because I'm opposed to it and I happen to have a little over double the next person in terms of influence. That might also be a possibility. I really don't know. All I know is we don't have any issues with that, at least not right now. It's going to be a while before it ever gets up to the top. And by then I should have a lot more power to help ensure it doesn't get passed. So you're going to be a mining world, so I'm just going to tell you to build a bunch of mining things, and technically you should be an agricultural district, but I don't really need more agriculture. Also, you're bleak. So that's another reason not to do you there. So I guess you're probably going to be a blend of generator and mining, so let's focus on, I want to say focus on generator for now, because that's a little bit more important. In the meantime, is there anywhere that I can ship people? Not really. I don't think, at least. Kind of need places that have free jobs, particularly in the worker tier, and that's not really a thing right now. Except for Zempek, and I can't really ship people to Zempek. Or at least I'm somewhat limited in my ability to ship people to Zempek. Let's see, we have 2 volatile motes, but I need to at least have a positive income of 1 preferably, so I at least have some of my own income for that. And all of you guys are people that can't take those jobs. So, yeah, can't really do anything with you. Let this run just a little bit longer. We'll run until ultra energetic particle
The spirits
colliders.
have granted us new wisdom.
Wonderful. And administrative efficiency is, yeah, a little bit more admin cap. Here we go, that's what I was thinking about. These orbital drop pods. So, the drop pod will automatically deploy when planetary devastation reaches 30%, and depending upon which of these 3 tiers you're able to put on your ship, decides how many armies you get to deploy. So 5 for small, 10 for medium, and 20 for large. I'm not quite sure what sizes I was able to put on escort carriers. I think it might have been small for escort carriers. They're technically all large slot, but they're small orbital drop pods and so on and so forth. So I think escort carriers are small. Regular carriers I think might be medium. And I believe there is if I recall correctly, New Ship Classes has a research for normal carriers that unlocks a new set of module options. There's still a normal carrier, it's just you get some new module options. I think they label it a super carrier, and that might have the large orbital drop pods, but I don't know for certain. I haven't really messed around with them too much. In fact, I've never actually used them in combat, so I don't know how effective they are, if at all. So we'll see if those are effective in any way. In the meantime, however, I think I'm going to research Arcane Institute, because that seems like it'd be a particularly useful ability, or building rather, that'll allow us to at least produce some of our own precursor artifacts, or the minor artifacts rather, which is helpful, because eventually we're going to run out of archaeological sites to dig. And once that happens, unless you're able to produce your own minor artifacts, you're not going to be able to take advantage of anything here. We are technically losing energy credits right now, but it's not a big deal. Okay, they've decided to just force Comfort the Fallen to the Senate floor. That is actually good for me. I mean, sure, we lose a little bit of diplomatic weight from tech, which kind of sucks, but we'll live. But it does give us plus 10% spiritualist ethics attraction, which will help to get some more people to join that faction, as well as plus 5% unity, which is also useful. Out of curiosity, let's check our factions. How are they doing? Particularly the ones that are important to us, like the xenophobe, spiritualist, and militarist. So, spiritualists are very happy. They're at green for all of their issues. The xenophobes aren't particularly happy. They want me to declare war and kill a Leviathan. That's going to be a while. And the militarist wants me to have rivals. Well, that's kind of hard for me to do because I'm not a rival, or I don't have anyone I can rival. You also want me to kill a Leviathan, and you want me to conquer a planet and install myself as the overlord of a foreign power. Now, installing myself as the overlord is easier. I might do that, and then I can just annex them later if I feel like it. Question just is, who do I do that against? The obvious choice is the Pajalkumite Empire. Do you got any friends? You don't, actually. Maybe I'll do that next part. We'll see. Because it's easy enough to demand vassalization, they'll refuse, and then I'll declare war on them to force them to become my vassal, and then we'll win easily. Because we'll easily crush their military. And then the hard part's just going to be waiting out the sieges. But like I said, we're going to let this part go a little bit long. Yeah, sure, extend our deal.
Construction complete.
Kind of forgot about our exploration cruisers. Put you in charge of one and send you out to go and do more excavation. So that's the hard field. The elder field is going to have you, Mr. Anime Hair, and you're going to go out exploring some more. And finally, the Neladre is also going to, I think, do excavation. But where? Or actually sort of out of areas that I could send you to go and do excavation, because it has to be within our borders, and we've kind of covered all the ones within our borders right now. So we need to expand our borders is the obvious solution to this. But that's going to be a little bit. Not too long, it's just going to be a little bit. Ooh, and we have finished the archaeological dig on Suging. So our engineers have restored the Oracle's nexus to an operative state, but not without first disabling its defense system. Evidence suggests that it may have been responsible not only for keeping the station's inhabitants alive, but also for killing them. It ran complex computational models that forecast their lives with an estimated accuracy of 75%, correcting divergences and incapacitating future troublemakers before they could disrupt divine order. It has indicated that it wishes to speak with us, so I can disable it, which gives me a bunch of influence, some alloys, and a decent amount of engineering research to be stored, or I can initiate contact. So let's initiate contact. So the Oracle manifests as an elaborate 3D hologram of a tall anthropod female clad in long flowing robes. She bows her head in greeting, then stares emptily ahead with hundreds of huge, orbed, unseeing eyes. They glow dimly in the gloom as she speaks. Welcome to Divinity Station, friends. I cannot help but notice that you have disabled my security system. May I implore you to restore it immediately? I can assure you that it is only for your protection. What happened to the inhabitants of this station? I have a failsafe that requires me to terminate a trial in the event of a code 034N deviation. The research had become a threat to the Republic. What is a code 034N deviation? The test subjects had developed free will. Free will can only be abolished with nerve gas. What trial? My trial. I was designed to build and maintain a society free of crime and suffering, a utopia in which every citizen was instilled with divine purpose and lived up to their full potential, unfettered by indecision and desire. What is the Republic? The Republic is no more. Okay. What are you? I am Oracle, an artificial intelligence gifted with the sight. My software allows me to predict your future with a divine accuracy of 74.99999%. I sense great doubt in you, great danger ahead. Your society is riddled with crime and deviation. I can make the pain go away. So I could say that's a fancy quantum multi-core processor. We could use that and get the same result as if I had just disabled it previously. I can gain a skill 5 governor who I want to assume is immortal, considering that they're a piece of software, but I could be wrong about that, and maybe they're not immortal, but I assume they are. Or I could just say, give me 20 admin capacity, which 20 admin capacity is not a whole hell of a lot. Not until we start really stacking our percentage bonuses, and even then it's not really that much. But I don't know how useful that Skill 5 Governor really is. I feel like when it comes down to it, the obvious choice for this will always be beneficial is the plus 20 admin capacity. But the Governor does have potential uses, but I'm going to go for the admin capacity. When it comes to these choices, I tend to make the choice that is always beneficial and not, well, it can be in certain circumstances. So yeah, I'll take the admin capacity, thank you very much.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
And there is our fancy schmancy ultra energetic particle colliders. That reminds me, I should probably go and actually build some of those stellar particle accelerators. That's from one of our other mods we're running. I don't remember the name of it, but it's another mod that adds in a whole bunch of mega structures. Now, question is, do I want better sensors or better shields? I think I'm going to go for better shields, but out of curiosity, what are your shields? You have tier 4 shields, so we're going to go for better shields, because I kind of don't want to be behind. If you don't mind, I'd rather not be behind. I mean, my fleet will jump into this system and one-shot you, but I'd still rather not be behind if I can avoid it. So now I can take any spare person here and say, let's build a stellar particle accelerator, which will give us 150 physics research per, because we're not limited to a single one of these. I can build them literally wherever I want and however many of them I want. So we'll probably be doing that. That's going to suck out some of our influence, of course, but hey, it's useful. Curiosity. I think I might do a fear campaign. Lasts for 13 years, and that gives us bonus unity, which is useful. And honestly, the xenophobe ethics attraction isn't the worst thing. Yeah, let's go ahead and toss that in as well. So that'll help to allow us to get this stuff a little bit faster, but we're gonna wait until next time to get started on that, or I guess rather continue, really. Let's see, what do I want to build here? You already have a temple. Don't really have anything else I can build here that's particularly useful right now, so I guess get a mine. No, game, no. Continue building my primary species here, thank you very much. It would be great if you could stop removing them from the list there whenever one of them grows. That would just be grand. So let's just take a quick look through everybody, make sure that they're doing what I want them to do, which is great. Oh, I forgot to also, cue you to build up a whole bunch of shipyards and advanced assembly, financial space. Yeah, I'll get you a stasis. Nah, honestly, the stasis chamber is not as useful for you, because I still have to remember to actually constantly check your planets to make sure you're building what I want you to build for pops. And I don't really have the... No, damn it, game. I don't want the stasis chambers. Orbital agency. And... would be a deep space block site. Yeah, sure. And I don't have any free space there. Oh yes, and you. You also get a deep space black site. Because why not? You got a little bit too many egalitarians there for my liking. And same with over there. Zempek is doing okay. Well, no, they've got a little few too many egalitarians themselves as well. We're gonna have to deal with that. Not really a whole lot I can do to deal with that though right now. But in the future, we'll be able to have stuff to deal with that. But that's gonna be it for this part. So that'll be it for this part. I will see you all next time, where we will continue to prepare for probably just declaring a war to force the Pyjalkumite Empire to become our vassal. And we'll just integrate them down the line. And so yes, next part we will continue research. We'll get ready for that. I don't know if I'll start the war next part or not. We can easily do it. We could win it. It's just, I don't know if I'm going to. It depends on what happens, because we've got some other issues we got to worry about. Namely down here, and we're just kind of waiting for it to kick in at some point. But that'll be it for this part, like I said. I'll see you all next time. Quick reminder, I do have a Discord and a Patreon. You can find a link to both of those down in the description below, as well as some affiliate links to pick up Stellaris, as well as the Federation's DLC. I highly recommend joining my Discord just to stay updated on channel happenings. You don't have to be active in it, though it is, of course, encouraged and appreciated if you are active there. But that's where I typically go to post anything regarding the channel. So I highly recommend joining it, even if just so you can see posts. Also, for the Patreon, for as little as $1 a month, you can get early access to all of my videos. It helps out the channel because that allows me to have money I can spend to buy games, upgrade my computer whenever I need to, which generally isn't that often, of course, because I build my computers to last me easily 3-5 years at minimum. But it also allows me to upgrade any software that I use for recording, things like that. So that'll be it for this part. Like I said, I'll see you all next time, but until then, a goodbye and farewell.